If you're joining us for the first time today, we are talking about the Global Day of Prayer, which is happening next week. And of course, there's a whole week of events here in Saskatoon leading up to it. So right now, Father Jacob and Stephen, they're both coordinators for the event, join us here at Holy Covenant Church. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
All right, so we found out a bit of a background on the Global Day of Prayer earlier in today's show, but of course you have a lot of content happening that week. Tell us a bit about the themes.
Yeah, so the themes, even as Maylene said, the first day, we're going to be praying into righteousness and justice for our city. So that's gathering people with all kinds of things like that in their heart of where do we need justice? Where do we need righteousness? Some of the other areas are the major shapers of our culture: education, the medical system, government, family, religion. How do these things shape our culture? How do we come together as a church and pray for them? And to pray for the people that function in those areas. So.
Excellent. So you've taken a really local focus on this, and this week can also serve as sort of a workshop in self-discovery as well, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the Global Day of Prayer, the name entails that it's a global event. But the church is, a local expression of a global thing occurring. So, I mean, we have to contextualize and make real our faith and our prayer in our local context. And Saskatoon, we believe, needs some support in prayer, for there's a lot of things happening out there that are not, very, very good. There's a lot of suffering.
Absolutely. It's definitely not a perfect city, and like every other community, we have issues of poverty and homelessness and even worse. So it's a great time to come together and talk about those things, I guess, talk about things that are on your mind, concerns that you have maybe in your personal life or just in your community.
Yeah. And one of the things too is often people can feel somewhat isolated, and this is to get them focused on the big picture. And even one of the things we've been thinking about and praying about a lot is even how John Lake, a preacher, started this city with the Temperance Colony and came and got to know Chief Whitecap, and they worked together. So it's even calling the church to say, remember the foundations of this city that were built on Christ. And so just praying into that and saying, guys, remember the big picture, not just in the moment we're in now, but the long run. Remember there's more than just your single church, there's a church in the city. And just to get a big picture, and enter into that together.
Right. So let's go over this once again. There are some morning prayer times, which everyone is welcome to join, and there are some evening events as well, right?
Yeah. Starting on the 17th of May, there's a morning prayer at 7 o'clock here at Holy Covenant. And then every evening for those 10 days, there is an evening prayer at Hope Fellowship, starting at 7 in the evening. So yeah, 10 days of prayer with different themes, as we mentioned, and then it's all wrapped up in a one-day big event service on the 27th of May in City Center Church, where all this comes together in one manifestation of prayer.
Okay, great. So you guys have had this event before, and it's been very popular. What sort of numbers do you expect? How many people come out to Global Day of Prayer?
That's a good question. I think we're getting the word out, right? So last year, even the 10 days was the first time we did the 10 days.
Oh, great.
It was just a small group said, you know what, let's serve the church and open up the opportunity for more people to come. This year, it seems like there's some good numbers. So one, that makes for the gatherings really fun. And two, it also makes for us as admins and like the people setting up as kind of like, we don't really know what to expect, but we believe the more the merrier. Even when folks come, even if they're praying outside and the buildings are packed, there's going to be a joy in coming together. So
is this something that you hope to do, in years down the road as well?
Yes, we do, with the support from the Lord.
Yeah,
yeah, it's a lot of work, but it's good, and we hope to do it coming years too.
Well, Saskatoon is a very strong Christian community, so I can understand why, a lot of people will be coming to these events. It sounds like a great thing for our city. Thanks for joining us and telling us more.
Yeah,
Thank you so
thanks
much.
for having us.
Yeah, all right. After the break, we'll check in with Community Calendar, so stay tuned.